Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it and hopefully improve it. Before we get started, I humbly ask that you take a moment to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. This is going to be a series, and this channel has some other videos as well, sports related, entertainment related. We do a lot here, trying to grow the audience. We appreciate the fact that you're here right now. We ask that you continue to stay with us. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you. If you're interested in a full, thorough breakdown of how this imperialism works, please check out the first 3 minutes or so of the 1966 video, which is linked in the description below. Otherwise, we are ready to start. With the NFL returning to labor peace, for now anyway, we delve into the 1983 season. As the 80s move on, we see that this season was won by the Los Angeles Raiders, winning Super Bowl 18 over the 1982 Super Bowl champion, Washington Redskins. Now, while Washington won that Super Bowl in a shortened season, they came back in 1983 with a vengeance, going 14-2, losing both games by a single point, setting the NFL record for points scored and for turnover margin. That said, the Raiders won the Super Bowl, but it was in an upset, which is reflected in our overall rankings. The Raiders come in at number 2, behind Washington. Dallas, San Francisco, Miami will close out the top 5. The Eagles, 3 years removed from a Super Bowl appearance, have now dropped all the way down into the bottom 5 with a lot of regular characters. Who will win 1983 Imperialism? There's only one way to find out. Let's get on with it. 1983's first spin of the wheel will give us the Chiefs. Arrow is going to be taking them southwest, so in a rare occasion, the Chiefs are going to expand westward. They're going to take the state of Kansas. We'll spin the wheel again, and this time we will just miss the Seahawks. That's the Chargers. They will head to the northwest. So we're going to have our first game this season. The Chargers, a bottom 5 team, will travel to LA and face the Rams. The Rams lead 7-3 in the second quarter, but the Chargers are driving. The Rams drop the defense back. Dan Fouts is going to throw anyway, finds an open Charlie Joyner in the end zone for the touchdown, and in LA, the Chargers have taken a 10-7 lead. There's still time left in the first half though. The Rams have driven it down to about the 13-yard line, second and goal. Handoff goes to rookie running back Eric Dickerson. He came out of the gates flying in the NFL. He gets this touchdown, his first ever at Imperialism, giving the Rams a 14-10 halftime lead. That is still the score in the fourth quarter. The Rams are on to Charger 26. Handoff goes to Dickerson around right end and beats everybody on the defense for the touchdown. He has taken over this game, giving the Rams a big 21-10 lead, but the Chargers are not quite out of it yet. They've taken it down to the 38-yard line, just about a minute to go. Fouts is going to look for Joyner again, makes the catch on the sideline, gets taken down, 31-yard gain. It is now third down, 36 seconds left. Fouts will drop back. This time goes to Wes Chandler. He's covered, but it's a touchdown. They're going to kick the extra point here. It's going to be 21-17, and it's all going to come down to this onside kick. The Rams ready for it. That ball's bouncing around, but they will recover, and that's going to be our ball game. The Chargers made it closer than many may have thought, but the Rams will get out of here with the victory, 21-17. Looking here at the map now, Southern California, very often at odds, and very often won by the Rams. They do so again, taking the Chargers out of the game and expanding their territory. We're now ready for an early expansion run. This wheel will land on the Vikings. They will head to the southwest, taking the state of South Dakota. It's close here, but it's going to just creep into the Falcons' territory on the wheel, northeast into the state of South Carolina for them. Now it's going to be the Chiefs, the second time they're called up. They continue going west and grabbing Nebraska. The other team in Missouri is now up, the Cardinals, and they find that little sliver northwest to expand into Iowa. Another spin of the wheel here will give us the Buccaneers. They will head northwest, but not northwest enough to avoid the Falcons. That's going to be our next game, and it's going to be in Atlanta. The Bucks have kept it reasonably close here in the fourth quarter. The Falcons do lead 16-3. This draw play to William Andrews gets them into the end zone for the touchdown, giving them a very solid 23-3 lead. That didn't get any better for the Bucks. They lose this game after giving up 21 points in the fourth quarter by a score of 37-10. This was the beginning of a long downturn for the Buccaneers, and Imperialism did them no favors. They tried to invade Atlanta and failed. The Falcons will take over their territory in northwestern Florida and expand their land. Two teams are now out in 1983 Imperialism. The wheel will give us the Oilers. They will head north and once again will have to travel to Dallas. This time they do so as the bottom-ranked team. Nothing to see here, nothing to talk about here. The Cowboys once again defend their land against the invading Oilers, knocking them out of the game, taking over the state of Texas. Next. We're going to be looking for something a little bit more competitive this time around. It'll just pass the Eagles and grab the Giants. They will head east. That's going to hit Long Island, which is part of the Buffalo Bills territory. That will be our next game. Buffalo's on the edge of the goal line here late in the first quarter. The sweep goes to Joe Cribbs. He's able to get himself into the end zone to give the Bills an early 7-0 lead. This became a late 7-0 lead. That's still the score in the fourth quarter. The Giants facing a desperation 4th and 18. Quarterback Scott Brenner taken down by Ben Williams for the sack. Buffalo added a touchdown late to win a thriller, 14-0. You may recall in a previous Imperialism, these teams played a scoreless regulation before Buffalo scored as time expired in overtime. This game wasn't much different. Not much offense here, but Buffalo wins. They will take over northern New Jersey, knocking the Giants out of the game. Well, that game was more competitive, but it still wasn't great. This wheel will land on the Dolphins. They always seem to get landed on early. And because of their location, we have no need to spin the arrow. They're going to be heading into Atlanta. The Falcons will be the first team to take the field twice in 1983. We're tied at 7 in the second quarter. The Dolphins have rookie quarterback Dan Marino under center. He will fire to Nat Moore in the end zone, beats the double coverage. What a great throw. What a great catch. Miami leads 14-7. They kept the Falcons at arm's length the rest of the game, finishing with a final score victory of 30-16. The Dolphins now become the first invading force to actually win a game. They go into Atlanta, take over their territory, expand their land, and enter their period of isolationism. We've now eliminated 5 teams from this season's Imperialism. The Cowboys did one of those eliminations. They're up next. They will head west. That's going to be an expansion into New Mexico. We'll try this again, and for the second time, we're going to land on the Cardinals. The arrow's going to take them straight south. Because of that slanted border, that is going to run into the Chiefs' territory. It needed to tilt a little bit to the east in order to be an expansion. So while these two teams had avoided each other to this point, the battle for Missouri, and a little bit more, will now take place in Kansas City. Early in the second quarter, the Chiefs trail 3-0, but they are in striking range. Bill Kenny places a perfect pass to wide receiver Henry Marshall that will put the Chiefs in the lead with a score of 7-3. They'll tack on a couple of field goals. It's now 13-3 late in the first half. This pitch goes out to Otis Anderson, the bruiser. He's able to get around the end, breaks a tackle. He's being pursued. They catch up to him, but he breaks that tackle as well, and he's able to scoot into the end zone for a huge Cardinal touchdown as the half is getting ready to expire. They now trail 13-10. It is now 13-13 in the fourth quarter. The Cardinals, from the 25-yard line, Neil Lomax floats a pass to Stump Mitchell. The running back extends out, makes the catch, putting the Cardinals in the lead 20-13. Here come the Chiefs though. From the 14, it's 1st and 10. Bill Kenny is taken down. David Galloway with the sack. Now on third down, Kenny quickly releases to tight end Willie Scott. Gets a lot of it back, but it is now 4th and 5. This is it for the Chiefs. Both teams call audibles at the line. Handoff goes to Theodis Brown, and he's just short of the first down line. That'll end a fourth quarter comeback victory for the Cardinals on the road over the Chiefs, 20-13. So both of these teams have been expanding. Now that they've played each other, a nice chunk of land west of where they normally are was up for grabs. The Cardinals will take that land, sitting dead center in the middle of the country, waiting to move on in Imperialism. That was our most competitive game since Game 1. We're looking for more of the same. The wheel will select the Lions. They will head to the southeast, and in this battle of past Imperialism champions, the Cleveland Browns will host the Detroit Lions. From the edge of the goal line, the Lions will look to strike first. The Browns bring their defense back for some reason, and the Lions slip the handoff to fullback James Jones for the game's opening touchdown. The Lions jump out to a 7-0 lead. An exchange of field goals takes us to the fourth quarter, where it is now 10-6 Detroit. From the 28, handoff from Brian Sipe goes to Mike Pruitt. Gets inside the defense, outruns them the rest of the way, giving the Browns their first lead of the game, 13-10. The Lions will now look to come back from just outside their own 40-yard line, 2nd and 1, under a minute to go. This pass will go to tight end Ulysses Norris, gets just past midfield. The Lions fall back a little bit here, 2nd and 12, only 34 seconds left. In the face of immense pressure, this pass gets off and is caught by Mark Nichols. What a play. That will set up Eddie Murray for the game-tying field goal 10 seconds ago. Faces no pressure. Easy does it. We are going to overtime. The Lions have the ball just inside midfield. After a nice kickoff return, this handoff goes to Billy Sims. Bottled up most of the game. It picks up 6 yards there. They go to Sims again. This time he finds the edge after a hurdle. Gets it down to the 22-yard line. They're going to stay on the field. This pitch goes to Sims, and he gets around the end and will put this game away. On those 3 runs, Billy Sims had more yards rushing in overtime than he did the entire regulation. The Lions come from behind, take this game in overtime, 19-13. While it wasn't quite the 28-point comeback the Lions put on the Browns a few seasons ago in Imperialism, it was still a come-from-behind win. This game was a lot more excellent defense than it was poor offense, so it was fun to watch. The Lions will take over the Cleveland Browns territory, and after the attacking team began this Imperialism losing their first 4 games, they have now embarked on a 3-game winning streak. We head back to the wheel. It will be landing on the Chicago Bears. They will head to the southwest into the now fairly expanded territory of the St. Louis Cardinals. Bears at Cardinals coming up next. We're catching the beginnings of what is to be a dominant Bears team over the years. This handoff up the middle goes to fullback Matt Suhey. Can't forget about him with Walter Payton back there. He drives it in for the touchdown, extending the Bear lead to 24-3. They handled business all the way through. They're probably upset they allowed 3 points. They win this game in St. Louis 38-3. A great argument can be made that the 1985 Bears are the single greatest team in NFL history. Here in 1983, they're not quite there yet, but they are starting to turn it on. They easily win this game, taking over the Cardinals' territory, and in all our seasons of Imperialism, this might be the most prominent that the Bears logo has ever looked on the map. The wheel's been giving us a lot of games lately. Let's see if we can keep that up. This will be landing on the Baltimore Colts. Arrow's going to take them to the northeast into the territory of the Philadelphia Eagles. This will be a matchup of 2 bottom 5 teams. The Colts offense could do very little in this game. They are at their own 40-yard line. This pass intended for receiver Bernard Henry is intercepted. That's Roniel Young, and he has made a habit of turning interceptions into touchdowns in Imperialism. The Eagles led the game 14-7 before that. They lead 21-7 now, and they win the game by a final score of 24-14. This is the end of an era. With this loss, the Baltimore Colts are no more. Not just on this map and in this season, but period. The next season, they will begin play in Indianapolis. As is, the Eagles will expand their territory and advance. With the Baltimore Colts now gone, we will spin this wheel and we will get another timeless team, the Green Bay Packers. They will head to the northeast. That will catch the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, putting them in battle with the Detroit Lions. The Lions needed overtime in order to win their first game. No such trouble in this one. From the 1-yard line, leading 24-0, that's fullback James Jones extending the lead to 31-0 here in the third quarter. The Lions faced little resistance throughout the entire game, beating their rivals from the NFC Central 45-6. Looking at the map, we see that the Lions will be taking over the state of Wisconsin, knocking their division rivals out of the game, and the Lions become the first team in this season's Imperialism to win twice. 10 teams have now been eliminated in 1983. This wheel is going to land on the Dallas Cowboys. They will head north, slightly northeast. That will take the state of Oklahoma into their territory. We'll try this one more time. It's going to be landing on the team of the 80s, the 49ers. Arrow's going to take them slightly southeast. A little bit more south would have hit the Raiders. Instead, they will expand into the state of Nevada. We'll be looking for a game on this next spin. It will, I think, hit the Cowboys. Yes, it will stop before it hits Philly. Arrow will go northwest, so we do have our game now. The defending Imperialism champions of 1982, Dallas Cowboys, travel to Denver to face the Broncos. Early in the first quarter, Denver was able to get deep into Dallas territory, but wasn't quite able to get into the end zone. They settled for 2 field goals here, giving them a 6-0 lead. Now going in that direction, Dallas facing a 3rd and 8. On the play action, this pass will go to Tony Hill. They get into the end zone. And just like that, Denver's outplayed them, but Dallas will lead this game 7-6. We are now early in the third quarter. Denver backed up against that same end zone. Now they go in it, but in the wrong way. That's a safety. Dallas will take a 9-6 lead. John Dutton making that play. And on the ensuing kickoff, the Cowboys pitch it to Tony Dorsett from the 13-yard line. Weaves his way in and out for the touchdown. We can't say that Dallas outplayed Denver to this point, but they lead 16-6. They had enough momentum going forward to capture this victory by a final score of 30-16. So Dallas, they know how to play in big moments, and that showed here in this game. They will take the state of Colorado away from the Broncos and expand their land, where a big matchup with the Chicago Bears appears to loom. It's expansion time, got a few to get through here. This wheel lands on the Redskins. They will head due south and take the state of Virginia. Up next will be the Chicago Bears. They will head southeast just enough to miss Dallas and take the state of Arkansas. Next, the wheel will give us the Minnesota Vikings. They will go to the northwest and take North Dakota. This one here will be a guaranteed expansion. That's going to land on the isolated Seattle. They'll grab the top of Idaho and expand there. Another guaranteed expansion coming up. This will be the Miami Dolphins. They will head due west and grab the state of Alabama. This is close between the Saints and the Cowboys. It's just the Cowboys. They will head west, continuing west into Arizona. This wheel spin will give us the Philadelphia Eagles. They will head due north. That will end the expansion run. They will travel to Buffalo and face the Bills. Now stop me if you've seen this before. Philadelphia leads 13-7. Buffalo quarterback Joe Ferguson throws a weird-looking pass to his tailback, and it's intercepted by Ron-Yell Young. Another pick six to put onto his Imperialism resume. He has been amazing for Philly. They won Imperialism 2 years ago. Let's not forget that. They win this game by a final score of 20-13. In doing so, they knock Buffalo off the map And again, they were 2 years ago Imperialism champions, and they're a bottom 5 team this year. They're not ready to give up the realm quite yet. We head back to the wheel to see it will be landing on the San Francisco 49ers. The arrow takes them southwest. Now normally this would point into the Pacific Ocean, but given their new location, that's going to send them into LA to face the Raiders. A battle of top 5 teams, including the reigning Super Bowl champions, coming up next. The Raiders are punting down 3-0 in the second quarter. It looks like it's a fake. That's Marcus Allen trying to get the ball out, and it's intercepted by Dwight Hicks, and he's able to run it back in for a touchdown. An ill-advised fake punt by the Raiders leads to a pick 6. The Niners lead 10-0. It is now 17-7. Late in the third, the Raiders are trying to come back. This handoff goes to Marcus Allen. Jukes his way in for the score. That will cut the deficit down to 17-14. That's going to be the score now. Late in the game, the Raiders in field goal range, 3rd and 14. The Niners bring the pressure. This pass to Cliff Branch is incomplete. Chris Barr will come out for the game-tying field goal, 39 yards, and instead, Jim Plunkett tries to get up and run with the ball. What? Okay, the 49ers are going to win this game 17-14 after some crazy special team plays by the Raiders. The Raiders are the reigning Super Bowl champions, but I guess their special teams didn't have to play a role in that because maybe they wouldn't be champions otherwise. As is the 49ers, were a very strong team in 1983, top 5. They will take over the Raiders' territory. They will expand their land. And in the few games we've had out west, the 49ers might be the biggest threat going forward from that region. Now that the champs have fallen, we're going to spin this wheel again. It's just going to stay with the Jets. They will head northeast. They were either going to play the Eagles or expand to Delaware. They're going to go into Philadelphia and play the bottom 5 Eagles, who have already won 2 games this season. Let's see how this game goes. The Jets lead 10-6, trying to get something done before the half. 30 seconds remain. Play action. The pass goes to Wesley Walker, stretches out for the catch, gets up, runs, and just gets in for the touchdown. Walker's not done. He makes another diving touchdown catch here in the third quarter. That second touchdown gives the Jets the 24-6 lead. Back and forth the rest of the way. The Jets go into Philadelphia and win this game 31-19. The Jets are not to be slept on. They were pretty decent here in the early half of the 80s, especially with that defense with the great nickname, the New York Sack Exchange. They win this game, they take over Philadelphia's territory, and probably at this point have the largest piece of land in the Northeast. We've now eliminated half the teams in the league, 14 out, 14 remain. This wheel will land on the Chicago Bears. They will head northeast into the territory of the Detroit Lions, their division rival. That game will be now. The following is a montage of the Chicago Bears completely falling apart. In this game, they lost 4 fumbles and threw 2 interceptions, missed a field goal, and had a fake punt snuffed out. This was embarrassing, and it goes to show in football that anything can happen if you're careless. The Bears fall apart, the Lions take advantage and crush them 49-14. We thought we were going to get an inevitable matchup between the Bears and the Cowboys. That didn't happen. The Bears could not get out of their own way, and the indomitable Lions, as they just seem to do, continue to win when we don't expect them to. They take over that middle portion of the U.S., knocking the Bears out of the game, expanding their land, and once again announcing their presence on the national stage. There are still a few teams we have yet to hear from. The Cincinnati Bengals are one of those teams. They will head northwest. That's going to take them into the Lions territory, so Detroit is getting right back on the field, defending their homeland against the Bengals. Cincy leads 10-3 here in the second half, but the Lions are inside the 10. That play action goes to Billy Sims, the pass goes to James Jones, and the fullback is able to drive his way into the end zone, dragging a defender with him to tie the game at 10. Cincinnati, though, is driving themselves. They've crossed the 40-yard line. It's 3rd and 5. Ken Anderson will try to dump it to his running back. It's intercepted by William Graham. He dodges that tackle, and he is off to the races. Nobody's going to catch him. The Lions were down, and just like that, they've taken a 17-10 lead. They'll score one more in the fourth quarter, come away with this victory by a final score of 24-10. The Lions are doing lots of damage here in this Imperialism. They are the only team still on this map with multiple victories, and they now have 4. They'll take over the southern portion of Ohio, knocking Cincinnati out of the game, and being in the center of the map, it may appear that all roads lead to Detroit in this season's Imperialism. Got another quick expansion run to go through here. The Patriots landed on for the first time. Will head to the northeast. They will take New Hampshire. Up next will be the Washington Redskins. They will head west and grab West Virginia. Over now on the other coast, we have the Seattle Seahawks. They will head southeast, but given their location, they're still going to hit Montana. Now we will see the Miami Dolphins still in isolation. That's a photo finish to the northwest. They'll catch the corner of North Carolina. The wheel will now select the Lions, and they will head northwest. So if we want a game in this Imperialism, apparently we need to call Detroit. They are going to be up for the 3rd straight time, but this time they're hitting the road to play the Vikings. This is a low-scoring game, 10-3 in the 3rd quarter, but the Lions are driving, and they have Billy Sims. The electric Billy Sims getting around, spinning around, getting into the end zone for the touchdown, extending the Lion lead to 17-3. Their defense is able to take over from here. They travel to Minnesota and win by a final score of 20-3. This was, as is usually the case, a solid Lions team. In 1983, they made the playoffs and only lost to the 49ers. They are making their move in Imperialism once again, taking the Vikings off the map, expanding their land, and they now probably have the largest piece of land in the US. We're getting closer and closer to the end here. The wheel's going to land on the Lions. Might they have to play again? They will go southeast. They will not, and for the last time, the state of Indiana is unoccupied. The Lions will take it over. We spin the wheel again, and looks like for the first time we're going to get the New Orleans Saints. The arrow's going to take them to the west, so they're going to have to travel into Dallas, and we know how these games turn out. That's about right. Dallas takes a 44-0 halftime lead, coasts in the second half, wins 57-12. So the Saints' first foray into Imperialism in 1983 did not go well. They fall to the Cowboys. Dallas takes over the state of Louisiana and expands their land. We're now down to our final 10 teams. This is close between the 49ers and Seahawks. It's the Niners. They will head northeast, so the Seahawks can't avoid this game after all. 49ers at Seahawks coming up next. Seattle trails 21-7 late in the first half, but they're on the edge of the goal line. This handoff goes to Kurt Warner, not the Kurt Warner from the Rams, running back extraordinaire of the 80s. That will have San Francisco's lead to 21-14. There's still time left in the half. The Niners look like they might want to try something. Joe Montana is going to fire this pass downfield to Dwight Clark. He makes the catch, but he fumbles at the 30-yard line, and he picks it up and runs it in for the touchdown. What a weird play. He recovered his own fumble, so that's legal under NFL rules under the 2-minute warning. What a crazy way to score. Later in the game, Clark on this short pass is going to score traditionally touchdown from Montana. The 49ers offense came to life in this game. They take care of Seattle with little problem, 48-28. So the West Coast is starting to congeal just a little bit here. The Seahawks were able to expand some land. The 49ers will now take over that land. and appear to only trail the Lions and the Cowboys in overall size. Our push to the end continues. This wheel will land on 1983's number 1 team, Washington Redskins. They will head to the Northwest. So, this is reminiscent of past imperialisms. The Lions get on a good run, then face a huge test. They get to be at home, but they're going to be facing off with the Redskins. Let's see what happens. Washington maintained a steady domination throughout. In the fourth quarter, they lead 14-3. Running back Joe Washington bursts through the line, gets in for the touchdown. The Lions had a tough time all game. They got the 1 field goal. That's all they were able to get. Washington gets 1 more touchdown. They're able to win this game handily, 28-3. They're entering the game late, but the Redskins are a force to deal with. They will take over the Lions' land, which is substantial. They are now the biggest landowners in the U.S., and it's going to take something special to knock them off. Only 8 teams remain in 1983. The Miami Dolphins are now called into action. They will go north, slightly northeast. That slight tilt to the east will line them up with Washington. They're right back on the field. Dolphins at Redskins is our next game. Miami's defense has stepped up. They have a 10-7 lead in the third quarter. They're in Washington territory. Dan Marino fires off to Mark Super Duper for the touchdown, giving Miami now a 17-7 lead. The defense forces an immediate 3-and-out. Marino takes them quickly down the field, fires into the end zone to Nat Moore, bodies the defender for the touchdown. The Dolphins lead 24-7. The Redskins will score very late to no avail, and the Dolphins have gone into Washington and won this game 24-14. Well, we said it would take something special to take Washington out of the game, and that happened. We didn't expect it to happen so quickly, but Miami, with a great defensive performance, go into Washington and win this game. First the Bears, then the Lions, now the Redskins. Nobody wants to hold on to this big territory in the middle. It now belongs to the Dolphins. Will the Dolphins have to come back onto the field? Maybe. This will just get into the Steelers portion of the wheel, but they will go to the southeast, and that will take them into the territory of the New York Jets. We're going to get a battle here in the northeast. As expected, this has been a defensive struggle. The Jets trail 13-6 in the fourth quarter. Richard Todd throws to fullback Dwayne Crutchfield. He gets the first down, but then he fumbles. That is Steelers safety Rick Woods forcing that ball loose. The Steelers recover. They're able to drive it down to the 5-yard line. First and goal. Cliff Stout back to pass. Gets it to fullback Franco Harris. Still doing his thing here in 1983. Making the touchdown catch, giving the Steelers a 20-6 lead. It got a little more offensive later on. The teams exchanged touchdowns. The Steelers, though, will come away with a 27-13 victory. Attacking teams have been on the rise now in Imperialism. The Steelers get called into action for the first time, go on the road, and take the Jets off the map. There are now 6 teams remaining. All of them have seen the field, except, of course, for the Patriots. Only the 49ers remain who have not won Imperialism before. The wheel will skip them into Miami. They will go west, slightly southwest. Either way, that is going to hit the territory of the Dallas Cowboys. Can the Dolphins retain this land where no one else before them could? The Dolphins' defense steps up again, but this time it's the offense that's letting them down. Third and long, Marino drops back, holds it for too long, and is taken down for the safety by Ed Too Tall Jones. That made it 5-0. It's now 5-3. Dallas in the third quarter. Danny White fires to tight end. Doug Cosby makes the catch in the end zone for the touchdown. That'll temporarily make the score 11-3, but it's 12-3 after the extra point. Late now in the fourth quarter, Miami finally showing some signs of life. From the 5-yard line, this pass goes to Mark Duper. He scores the touchdown, and the Dolphins are going to have a chance here. It's 12-10, and they're going to line up for the onside kick. They've got some momentum. They can recover this. They'll have a good chance. That ball is loose, but Dallas falls on it, and they're going to hold on to win this game 12-10. It should come as little surprise the way this imperialism is going that Miami could not hold on to this particular portion of land. The Cowboys will knock them out of the game, take over that land, and now they are sitting in the middle. They look like imperialism champions with that star in the middle already, but there's 2 teams on either side of them, and at some point they're going to have to defend his land. Let's see if they're the first to do it. We're now 4 games away from crowning this season's imperialism champion. The 49ers are chosen on the wheel. They will head northeast. This photo finish shows us that the arrow will bypass the state of Wyoming and crash into the territory of the Dallas Cowboys. This will be a heavyweight matchup, and it will be in Dallas. The 49ers march right down the field on their opening drive, mixing the run and the pass. This is a run to Wendell Tyler. He gets around the end for a touchdown. And the 49ers come into Dallas and go right out into the lead, 7-0. Dallas will be looking to respond. This is their first play from scrimmage from their own 16-yard line. Danny White drops back the pass. It's going to look for Drew Pearson, but it's intercepted by Dwight Hicks. The 49ers are going to get the ball right back and waste no time from the goal line. This pass to Russ Francis will put them up 14-0. Now Dallas is able to pull a touchdown back before the half. We enter the second half now. It's 14-7 San Francisco, but Dallas on their opening drive of the second half get it down. This pass goes to Drew Pearson, makes the diving reception. Dwight Hicks was lurking again, but the Cowboys are able to convert for the touchdown. 14-all. Going now to the fourth quarter. The 49ers lead 17-14. Dallas from their own 33. Danny White has all day. The 49ers have no coverage. This pass goes to Tony Hill, makes the catch at the 35 and is able to streak the rest of the way in for the touchdown. What a play by Dallas. They have now taken their first lead of the game. But there's plenty of time remaining. The 49ers from their own 40-yard line. And first down, this play action. Montana rolls out, decides to take off, makes a couple of moves, and he's getting downfield. What a play by Montana there. Always athletic, 33 yards. They're now at the 16-yard line. 2:24 to go. Montana drops back, finds Roger Craig, gets into the end zone. The 49ers have now taken the lead 24-21, but Dallas still has time. It is 3rd and 14. The 49ers bring the rush. Tony Hill makes the catch, spins away. The Niners are unable to close down on him, and that will keep this drive alive. Next play, from the 42, White will drop back. He's going to look for Hill again. Makes the catch on the out. He has been hurting the Niners all day long. We're now under a minute to go. They can tie the game with a field goal, but they might be looking for the touchdown. The dump-off pass goes to Tony Dorsett. Cuts inside and will score. 42 seconds remaining. Dallas has taken the lead. Extra point makes it 28-24. The Niners are in desperation mode. From their own 37, Montana drops back the pass. Randy White breaks through the line for his 3rd sack of the game to close this out. Dallas looked like they were dead in the first quarter, but they make the comeback and win this game 28-24. Finally, the owners of this land in the central part of the country are able to hold on to it. The Cowboys faced the 49er invasion and look like they may be going down, but they will win the game. They will take over the 49ers territory, and our reigning 1982 Imperialism champions are looking for the repeat. We're down to our final 4. The Cowboys will be selected on the wheel. They will head northeast, and from the center of their logo, that's actually going to clip Kentucky, giving them an expansion. haven't been expanding much since our runs that we've had. The wheel will now select the Patriots. They like to expand a lot too. But that arrow dips slightly to the southwest, and that's going to go right through that little corridor that is Massachusetts and hit the Steeler territory. The Patriots now have to take the field, and they will do so in Pittsburgh. The Patriots take their opening drive to just outside the Steeler red zone. The Steelers back up the defense. Steve Grogan's going to throw this ball for New England, and it's intercepted at the 12-yard line. That is Jack Lambert still doing his thing in 1983, and he takes off and he's gone. An 88-yard pick six in the middle of the first quarter. And the Patriots, who got the ball moving on that drive, couldn't do it anymore for the rest of the game. The Steelers add a few late and win this game in a shutout, 24-0. This is the second game the Steelers have played in this Imperialism, and they're only giving up an average of 6.5 points per. It's not the Steel Curtain, but it's looking like it. They will take over the Patriots' territory. That will leave 3 teams in this Imperialism, and the Cowboys are guaranteed to be in our next game. With our final 3 in place, we spin the wheel and get the Pittsburgh Steelers. The arrow's going to go west, and at some point, whether or not that's crossing a Great Lake or Canada, that is hitting the Cowboys' territory. The Steelers will go to Dallas, and the winner will face the Los Angeles Rams for the Imperialism Championship of 1983. Pittsburgh gets great field position after a good kickoff return to open the game. They're at the Dallas 22-yard line. Cliff Stout drops back, dumps it off to Franco Harris. He's become quite the receiver, and he just breaks the plane of the goal line. The Steelers will draw first blood, lead 7-0. They had plenty of chances to add to their lead, but never could, and now Dallas is set to take advantage. From the Pittsburgh 13, that's Tony Dorsett around left end, outruns the defense, gets in for the tying touchdown. Pittsburgh's been in control of this game, but all of a sudden, it's 7-7. With time left in the first half, the Steelers are at their own 39-yard line. The Cowboys bring the defense up, look like they want to attack. Stout will throw the ball to rookie receiver Greg Garrity. Extends for the catch, gets down to the 31-yard line. Big play there. Very next play, a minute 40 to go. Hand off to Harris around the left side. Uses his power to break a tackle, breaks another. And he's going to break the plane to the goal line again, just barely, giving the Steelers a touchdown and a 14-7 lead. A lead that they're going to carry all the way into the fourth quarter. Dallas looking to tie from their own 36. Draw play to Tony Dorsett. He's a lot more speed than Harris. Spins around, trying to get through, but stopped at the 3-yard line. Okay, here on first down, handoff to Ron Springs is stuffed. Second down pitch to Dorsett. He beats the edge, but still gets taken down. Ron Springs stuffed on third down. They're going for it, 4th and goal. It's a long one, and Ron Springs is taken down well behind the line of scrimmage. Dallas will force a 3-and-out, though, and punter Craig Colquitt gets taken down. So here we go again. First down to Springs is stuffed. Second down, draw to Dorsett, stuffed. Third down, pitch to Dorsett is stuffed. Dallas will now kick the field goal with 2:23 to go. Raphael Septien, he makes it dramatic, but it goes through. Will they kick it off or will they onside? They're kicking off. Dwayne Woodruff had a great kickoff return to start this game, and he is taken down and the ball is out. Bob Brunig forces the fumble. So now Dallas has a chance to take the lead. It's 3rd and 9. Maybe not being against the goal line will help. Danny White will take off, outrunning everybody, spins away and will score. The quarterback, Danny White, making an incredible play. The Cowboys, again, come from behind and win this game 10 points in the fourth quarter by a final score of 17-14. That just goes to show that low-scoring games can be extremely exciting. The Cowboys win. They will now face the Rams for the championship game. So there are some things to unpack here. First of all, the Rams have become now the first team to ever play the first game of a season and wind up in the championship game. This is also going to be the first ever Imperialism championship game rematch. The Cowboys barely beat the Rams by 1 point in 1967. Both of these teams will now vie to join the Vikings as the only 3-time winners of Imperialism. We're set up for something exciting here. All we have to do now is spin the wheel to find out who will be attacking and who will be hosting. Here now is that spin of the wheel, and that's clearly landing on the Cowboys. We've already run through the storylines of this game. Let's get it on. Cowboys at Rams for the championship. Late in the first quarter, the Rams have taken it down to the Cowboy 21. Play action to Eric Dickerson. The pass goes to George Farmer. That's a touchdown. He breaks the seal on the scoreboard, giving the Rams a 7-0 lead. We're now going to move on to the second quarter. The Cowboys are facing goal to go again. This is 3rd and goal from the 1. Up the middle to Ron Springs, and he's able to break a tackle and score. So maybe they've broken their goal to go hex here. They have tied the game up 7 apiece. It is now the Rams' turn to try to respond. They're just past midfield, 3.5 to go in the first half. The handoff goes to Eric Dickerson. Cuts inside and gets about half the yards he needed for a touchdown. On the next play, they're going to give him the ball again, and he looks like he's going to get the second half of those yards. He does. Eric Dickerson, probably the greatest running back rookie season of all time, puts the Rams up 14-7. Dallas is going to try to respond. Less than a minute to go before the half. Tony Dorsett up the middle. He breaks a tackle, breaks another. Known more for his speed, but he's got the total game. They get inside the 10-yard line. That time is ticking, and they're going to settle for the field goal here. 28 yards from Raphael Septien. He makes it. 14-10. Rams lead. That's the halftime score. Now in the third quarter, they're going to hand it to Dickerson again, and he uses his speed again. Spins away. Gets it down to about the 25-yard line. He's having a monster game. For some reason, they passed on first down, so now it's second down, and they're just going to give it to Dickerson. He gets stuck in the backfield, but then he breaks out. He almost scored, taken down at the inches line. It's now 3rd and 4. They've got Mike Gooman in the backfield. They hand it to him, and he will score. That's an interesting play call. It works. The Rams extend their lead to 21-10. Do the Cowboys have another comeback in them? It's 3rd and goal from the 1. Inside the 1. Springs is held up. Can he break the tackle? He's down. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Is the hex truly broken? Dorsett stuffed for a big loss. So now the Rams have a chance to salt this away. Little time left in the third. Ferragamo will throw to Dickerson, whatever it takes to get the ball in his hands. Extends past midfield and taken down inside the 40-yard line. This again is their chance to put this away. Vince Ferragamo, quarterback, play action. Randy White doesn't fall for it, gets the strip sack, picks it up, and runs it back to about the 30-yard line. Dallas has now taken it inside the 5. It's not goal to go. Maybe that's why Ron Springs is able to break through for the touchdown. What a turn of events. The Rams had every chance to put this away. They couldn't do it. It's 21-17. Still 3.5 minutes to go, and the Cowboys are going to onside kick it. That may have taken the Rams by surprise, and they recover. 2nd and 3 now. 3:14 to go. The pitch to Dorsett. Around the right end. He is untouched. Breaks in past the 20. They get him down at about the 11-yard line. What a finish this is setting up for. Very next play, the Rams bring their defense up. Look like they want to attack. Danny White calls an audible. Gets the pass off to Tony Hill for the touchdown. A lot of pressure in his face, but that didn't faze him. And now the Cowboys have taken the lead 24-21. They will kick it away this time. Preston Denard waiting to receive. It's a shorter kick at the 16-yard line. Gets around the left side, uses his speed, and it's going to be a foot race to the end zone here. They're going to catch him. A great return there. It is now 3rd down. They weren't able to do anything with it. And this pass to Eric Dickerson was badly thrown, so they're going to have to settle for a field goal. Their rookie kicker, 49-yard attempt is true. Chuck Nelson makes the field goal. Now Dallas with a tie game, under 2 minutes to go. Danny White throws it to Doug Cosby, and that ball is loose. Jim Collins forces the fumble, and the Rams recover, and they're going to be in field goal range. Might they try to go for the kill shot, though? From the 28, play action. Everyone bites. The pass to Preston Denard, and the fourth quarter hero of the Rams gives them a 31-24 lead. There's still time left on the clock. Drew Pearson returning this kick. He's getting some moves in. He's past midfield. He keeps going. Can they catch him? Yes, at the 31. The Cowboys will have 29 seconds to tie this game. Danny White's going to try to take off. That worked against Pittsburgh. It doesn't here. 20 seconds to go. It's 2nd down, as if that matters. White throws it to Dorsett. Can he break away? He's got a 1st down, but he's taken down. 5 seconds to go. Can they get this play call in? 3, 2, and they've got it in. This is the game right here from the 16-yard line. They're going to pitch to Dorsett. He's got the edge, but they catch him from behind, and that is it. The Rams fend off the Cowboy comeback, make a comeback of their own, and win an absolute thriller, 31-24. And with that victory, they get this map. What an incredible championship game that was. These two teams played in 1967's championship. Dallas won by a point, but somehow this game felt a lot more exciting. Congratulations to the 1983 Rams. They were a playoff team, and they actually beat the Cowboys in the playoffs that season, and they are Imperialism champion for the 3rd time in 3 different decades. The Redskins' attempt to win Super Bowl 18 and repeat as Super Bowl champions was stopped by the LA Raiders. Neither team did much in this Imperialism. The Raiders were one and done, and the Redskins only won 1 game. No, in this Imperialism, it was the LA Rams that took the championship, the other Los Angeles team. The Cowboys made a big run in this one, but they were only able to finish as runners-up. This is the roster that the Rams won it all with. Let's take a look at the offense first. Vince Ferragamo leads the way at quarterback. He took over in the 1979 season due to injury. The Rams made the Super Bowl that year, and he was the starter off and on for the next few seasons, including this one. But we have to once again mention Eric Dickerson. Probably, likely, the best rookie season any running backs ever had. The offensive line was stacked from top to bottom, but was especially led by guard Dennis Hara and tackle Jackie Slater. The strength of this Rams defense lay in their secondary. That corner combination of Leroy Irvin and Eric Harris, along with the safety combination of Nolan Cromwell and Johnny Johnson, made it really hard to move the ball in the air against these guys. The front seven's not as strong as it has been in the past, but that name right there on the top, Jack Youngblood, was able to lead the way for them. The first half of scores from 1983 saw some close wins, including a Lion victory over the Browns in overtime, a 49er 3-point victory over the Raiders, and the Rams kicking things off with a 21-17 victory at home against the Chargers. The first game was played there, the last game was played there, and that's all the Rams played in this Imperialism. They beat the Cowboys 31-24 in the championship game, but on the way there were lots of heart-stopping games, including most of the games toward the end, except maybe for that Steelers-Patriots 24-0 shutout. By virtue of winning that title game, the Rams take their place at the top of the standings here at 2-0, but it was really the Cowboys and the Lions that took this Imperialism by storm. Dallas won 6 games, Detroit won 5. A few other teams were able to win double digits, and 13 teams won at least 1 game altogether. The overall standings paint a different picture, however. The Cowboys over the last couple of seasons have really extended their lead at the top, whereas it used to be close. Had they won the championship game this season, they would have had a cool 50 wins total. Otherwise, they've got to settle for 49. The Vikings are 10 behind at 39, and now only 9 teams have a winning record in Imperialism. Thank you so much for taking the time to check this video out. We hope you enjoyed it. That was 1983 in the books. If you're watching this as it's being released, 1984 won't be too far behind. If you're watching at some point in the future, 1984 is most likely already out. Everything we've ever posted in Imperialism is down in the description below. If you like the video, please hit that like button. Please give it a share with someone you might think will enjoy it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, click that bell for notifications. We cannot thank you enough. 1968, 1977, and now 1983. The Rams win their 3rd Imperialism Championship. One last look at this map will let us know the same. We're going to take off for now, folks. Thank you so much again for watching. We hope you have an awesome day.